Good evening, my friends. This is Paul, and I am here to provide you with a video game review that took a lot less time than I thought it would, and that is 3D Classics Excitebike, which I was able to download for $6. So, I played the original Excitebike in various forms, be it a playable NES game in Animal Crossing, a demo in Amiibo Tap for the Wii U, in Ultimate NES Remix for the 3DS, you get the point. And I got the impression that it was a very decent motorcycle simulator coming out in the era of the NES where game selection was as simple as Mode A and Mode B, where you held down, well, if I was on the 3DS, you hold down one button to just do your regular revving, and then the other button to do a turbo. At the same time, you had to be aware of how your bike was positioned, so you would have to move the wheels back and forth when you were going off a jump to make sure that you landed smoothly and got the most air time. And then you also had to make sure not to overheat the engine by using the turbo too much, because then you would halt to a stop while your engine had to cool itself. Then you also had to watch out for hazards scattered along the way. Make sure to go into turbo restoring power-ups. There was an insane amount of strategy to Excitebike. And if you're wondering, okay, well, what's the difference between Mode A and Mode B? Well, unlike duds like Donkey Kong, Mode B actually adds significant improvement over the Mode A selection, in that both selections give you 5 tracks, although it's kind of hard to say that because it's kind of... The game doesn't do a really great job of telling you whether there's a ton of individual racetracks within a track or if there are 5 tracks. They just sort of say select track, and then when you go to the track it'll say select another one, but then it'll be a different color than if you were to select track 2. So it has a super confusing structure that I didn't know NES games of that era could have. I backtrack a bit. So I said that B mode had a significant improvement over A mode, and that's you have other racers. Now, the racers can knock you over, and you'll have to quickly tap the turbo button to get back on your bike and back in the action, or you can knock them over. So it's a surprisingly brutal game for a Nintendo system. But the odd thing is, you're actually not racing against the other racers. You can still be lagging behind and get first place, because the game has this preset time limit that if you beat it, that determines how high you'll score in the race. And that score might have nothing to do with your position amongst the other racers. They're mainly there as added obstacles, which felt kind of weird, but I liked it better than A mode because it required me to be a little less lenient with how much space the racetracks gave me. The true enjoyment out of playing Excitebike came from the level editor, which is quite possibly the best level creation simulator I have ever played besides Super Mario Maker. And I had a blast designing my own course. Heck, the fact that a level design option is even in an NES game is amazing. But the fact that they made it easy to use is even more amazing. They let me test my courses, they let me tweak my courses, they even let me tweak individual laps of the course. And perhaps because of the extra storage capacity of the 3DS, they gave me 32 slots to save my courses in. But if you're seeing the title of this video, you're probably wondering, okay, Paul, this is called 3D Classics Excitebike, not just plain old Excitebike on the Virtual Console. So what's new? Well, apart from an updated title screen that has a new musical theme, you have stereoscopic 3D, which is cool, and you get to adjust how much 3D there is, which you already have a slider, and then the in-game lets you adjust as well, so it gives you a lot of different options for a pixelated game. And then you also can do a quick save so that you don't have to start all the way back at the beginning of a circuit, which doesn't seem to help much because of the odd way that the game's structured, so why is it even there in the first place? And you can adjust the controls. So if you want to have the L button be the accelerate button and the R button be the turbo, you can do it. You really only need 2 buttons and the circle pad, or control pad, to play the game, and that's about it. Excitebike could probably easily be beaten in about an hour. Countless hours if you plan on using the course editor, which in my opinion is better than the actual game. But the sound effects are awful! So awful, in fact, that most of my time when I played the game, I had to mute my 3DS. The sounds of the crowd cheering, the sound when you clear a lap, and the sound of pretty much anything was just grating and high-pitched, and it was just super annoying. The music that played when you booted up the game or when you got a new high score was decent, but it only lasted a couple of seconds. It wasn't like this overall catchy theme, which I'm glad they remedied when they put Excitebike Arena in Mario Kart 8, because that actually took that simple couple of seconds theme and expanded it into an entire performance track. So, 3D Classics Excitebike was decent. It was really amazing during the course editor, but the main game was so bland and ear-splittingly hurting that I would say only get it if you really get it on sale like I did. Otherwise, there are vastly superior NES games out there that have way more substance, especially Super Mario Brothers, and you should pick those up instead. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this review. Again, as I like to say a lot, I will review any game that I've beaten, and if it's on a Nintendo system, so if you have any requests, let me know. I do have quite a backlog of classic games that I've just been putting off a lot, because I like reviewing newer games, but I will review stuff as old as the Nintendo 64 if need be. So, until that time, keep the faith, stay epic, and God bless. Bye.